refers young children's use of ICT. Global, there is an interesting pervasiveness of ICT in easy setting and young children everyday life experience. Young children access to ICT in particular computer and internet has been vital debate of the last 3 decades. Although the focus of the debate has become less polarized and shifted to how to integrate ICT into the curriculum, say Edward 2005. The old debates have countered of the impact of new technology on young children and resolved broadly into school of opinion. Sohol, say Cordes and Miller 2000 underscore the bad influence and refer to possible threats to early learning and development such as risk to children's health, reduce social interaction, and replacing traditional learning activities. Therefore, this group strongly argues against young children's use of ICT in the early years. Negative views against young children's use of ICT have risen many response and disagreement, which also led to more empirical research. Negative views against young children's use of ICT raised many response and disagreement, which also led to more empirical research in the varied consequence. Many scholars and have demonstrated rich and varied research in evidence of ICT potential and in the area of language of communication, creativity, mathematical thinking, and problem solving, cooperation, and literacy to future the opposition primitive. Furthermore, general observation about reserve-based teacher preparation and perception toward technology have not confidence. The participant teacher experience with ICT are varied and influenced by many complex multiple factors such as social, cultural context, educational system, and individual self-confidence. Thank you. The second, early childhood teacher argued an intention about the use of ICT. Argued have been defined as a learning ready fashion or a tendency to respond positive or negative to a special object, situation, institution, concept, idea, or person. Argued towards young children, use of ICT in this paper refers to perception teacher perception of the role of ICT for early learning and development. And next, pressure easy teacher ICT experience. There is a widely-held premise that people who grow up in an age of advanced digital technology have been interested in the risk.
ICT education in China. China has been actively facilitating the use of ICTs in teacher education to harness its potential for innovative learning and teaching. In the 21st century, in 2004, the central government issued educational technology competency standard for primary and secondary school teachers and required teachers to effectively integrate ICT into their curriculum.
As of population, the target of population was 732 face teacher and a lot in the early childhood education program, and their way mainly for this fair and the con. In Northern China, notable socio-economic status and high technology development in northern region and are traditional slower in that of the social professions. The participants were profit with a link to the online survey by university administration staff, and they were given their week to complete the online questionnaire with a remedy on the first day of the third week to increase the response rate. The participants were clearly informed the study that participants in this rel is complete for lengthy and then call with their population and any time with administration. A total of 410 professed teacher responded questionnaire provincially. The first year's new analog proficient teacher with participating in Christ Traditional University military express program at the time of the founding. This study and their way trained in the university by army soldiers in cross their specialist fitness for university students. Thus, not first year present fifth teacher with the recruited for the study. Data analysis. The quantitative data were analyzed using statistical facking for social stage. First, the sessions of analysis were undertaken to describe the present teacher count and the third ICT relationship and feature between present teacher demographic background, the tier attitude and intention with fashion using cross labulation. Thus, one way ANOVAs when ANOVA indicate a significant difference between groups. A safe text with identify which of the individual group were the significantly different for other group. Second, cells were development to measure in cell of the phrase teacher attitude in intention regarding children of ICT. Descriptive information was the culture of the cells. Means standard deviations are reliability, the internal consistency of the set item was the measured, and the overall reliability for attitude and the intention cells reveal high 0.6 and 0.30 refestival final. For the purpose of analysis, the process will give a score for each item 1 to 6. 1. Storgy dislike. 2. Dislike. 3. Then to describe. 4. Then to agree. 5. Agree. 6. Strongly agree. Items that were overhead in the negative manner with the sub-quality recorded to make the cells read in the positive direction. Floor second to be third for lefting negative or less positive. preparation, the main core will the cultural for age cell with provision and overall feature of the participant response this process.
Well, thank you. I will continue the material research. First teacher, information, communication, and technology training and experience. Do you have an ICT device such as a computer and use it every day? How long do you use ICT device every day? About others participants reported they had an ICT device and used it every day. Most of the participants spend less than 2 hours on ICT, as explained by Andini. Reported they were new computer users with less than year experience and nearly third had using a computer for 1 year, 3 years in general. The majority of the participants reported they had some common in the fraud in ICT increased. On the contrary, a small proportion of them, 7.6%, said that they were not cheating, although some 5.4% found that they were cheating. On average, the participants have a long frequency of using ICT for their learning and practicum in the ACE setting. Many of them, 79.830%, reported they early or sometimes have used ICT for their own learning and practicum. They 80.5% also report they have little knowledge and information about relevant ICT research or policies in the field, and only 6.8% of them report that have well informed about ICT research or policies in the ACE. Participation were asked, during the past 3 years, have you participated in professional ICT learning and training program? Participants in study, 72.4% have a report that they experienced ICT training in the past 3 years. Their previous ICT training was shown to be significant related to their confidence and skill in using ICT for professional learning and practicum, based on the result of the SQUARE test. A total of 109 participation gave their response to the test, which a scale of attitudes intention, because on the participation did not respond to scale, the mean of the attitude scale was 3.59 with a very low standard deviation of 0.48. The scale for measuring intention has a mean of 4.30 and a standard. That it is the summary is the of the result. I will read a conclusion of discussion. Okay, I will read the conclusion of the discussion. The results of the study support previous data that in service the pre-service easy teacher were uncertain about the positive effects of information, communication, and technology on the young children. But in the contrast with other studies where in service and pre-service easy teacher expressed positive view about young children's use of information, communication, and technology, and think that technology can support children's learning. Their findings alike with previous research to previous easy teachers used for at the learning teacher is the limited and they mainly use ICT for of ICT. It is suppressing the participation indicators would encourage and facilitate children's ICT activities. In China, easy teacher, when the starting we expected to use ICT developed modern technology. Information, communication, and technology training of the professional development is mostly available for primary and secondary. Teacher, Ministry of Education.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thanks to Teh Ilmaa. Hello, my name is Ela Latifah Fuadah. I will present material regarding recommendation and limitation. First, recommendation. Given the uniqueness of the and small effect size, it is not our intention to generalize the finding is here but to provide an overall picture easy teachers attitudes and intention in one place and time. Although the results afforded here are local and unique, they can be drawn on by readers to examine their own situation. This local contextual knowledge contributes to general knowledge based and informed future research. And finally, limitation. This study has several limitations. First year, students will not included in the population who may have different experience on the use of ICT for professional learning of practice as senior students. Second, the sample size and its origin from one region do not allow for broad generalization. However, the findings are useful for ICT teachers education, policymakers, and research. The third, the method of using a self-reported questionnaire does not allow research and in-depth understanding of the participants' experience. Moreover, the small effect size could limit the strength of some claims such as the impact of ICT professional learning and training on free service teachers' intention. Thus, we further collected quantitative data through interviews with participants to enrich the findings related to their perspective and experience. Thank you.